In Colorado, USA, there is still an active volcano. It last erupted about the same time as the pyramids were being built in Egypt. The Zero volcano last erupted 4,200 years ago. Astronaut is a compound word, derived from the two ancient Greek words, astro, meaning star, and naut, meaning sailor. So astronaut literally means star sailor. The San Andreas Fault in California is consuming nearly 2 inches of land each year. If humans are still around in 15 million years, those living in Los Angeles and San Francisco can be neighbors. The inland taipan is the most venomous snake in the world. A single bite contains enough venom to kill at least 100 fully grown men and can kill within just 30 minutes, if left untreated. The Roman-Persian Wars are the longest in history, lasting over 680 years. They began in 54 BC and ended in 628 AD. You may have thought Jerusalem or Athens was the oldest city in the world, but that honor goes to Damascus, Syria. Continuously inhabited since at least 11,000 years ago, it was named the Arab Capital of Culture in 2008. The world's deadliest animal isn't a shark, bear, or tiger, but something far smaller: the mosquito. According to the World Health Organization, 725,000 people are killed each year from mosquito-borne diseases, such as malaria, dengue fever, and yellow fever. If you translate Jesus from Hebrew to English, the correct translation is Joshua. The name Jesus comes from translating the name from Hebrew to Greek, to Latin, to English. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean is the deepest place on the surface of Earth, with a small depression called the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the trench. The depression reaches depths of nearly 35,814 feet. Swifts spend most of their lives flying in the air and can fly for almost an entire year without ever landing. If you want to take the train across Russia, you'll need to set aside 7 days for a direct route that doesn't stop, crossing through all 11 time zones. The male seahorse goes through pregnancy and gives birth to babies. They are the only animal on Earth where the male carries the baby, rather than the female. "42 buildings in New York have their own zip codes. The Empire State Building, MetLife Building, the Woolworth Building, and the Chrysler Building are some of the buildings to boast this distinction. In a strange and growing trend, some people, who get bitten by the Lone Star tick, develop a sudden allergy to red meat. An Italian banker, Gilberto Baschiera, is considered a modern-day Robin Hood. Over the course of 7 years, he secretly diverted €1 million to poorer clients from the wealthy ones, so they could qualify for loans. He made no profit and avoided jail in 2018 due to a plea bargain. The box jellyfish is considered the most venomous marine species in the world. These cube-shaped jellyfish have long tentacles and can be over 3 meters in length. Tirana, the capital of Albania, has a lot of things in common with other European capitals, except one. It's one of 2 capitals, without a McDonald's. The second is Vatican City. The largest Japanese population, outside of Japan, stands at 1.6 million people, who live in Brazil. IKEA is an acronym, which stands for Ingvar, Komprad, Elmterad, Agunnarad, which is the founder's name, farm where he grew up, and hometown. The youngest pope in history was Pope Benedict IX, who was 11 years old at the time of the election. He is also the only person to have been the pope more than once. In World War II, Germany tried to collapse the British economy by dropping millions of counterfeit bills over London. St. Lucia is the only country in the world named after a woman. The country was named after Saint Lucy of Syracuse, by the French. There is a town in Nebraska, called Monowai, with a population of 1. Monowai is the only incorporated place in the U.S., with just 1 resident. Eiler is the mayor, clerk, treasurer, librarian, bartender, and only person left in the U.S. tiniest town. Mercury and Venus are the only 2 planets in our solar system that do not have any moons. Earth has 1, and Mars has its 2 small moons. The world's first motel is in San Luis Obispo, which was built in 1925. When opened, it cost $1.25 for a 2-room bungalow, with a kitchen, and a private adjoining garage. Electric eels are in fact not eels, and give a shock strong enough to knock out a horse. In the Tennessee Aquarium, an electric eel's tank has been hooked up to a computer, programmed to send out a tweet whenever the eel produces enough electricity. More tornadoes occur in the United Kingdom per square mile than any other country in the world. Times Square was originally called Longacre Square, until it was renamed in 1904, after the New York Times moved its headquarters to the newly built Times Building. Over 290 people have died climbing Mount Everest since 1922. Most deaths occur because of avalanches, and not all bodies have been recovered. There are only 2 countries in the world that have the color purple in their flags: Nicaragua and Dominica.